The famous writer, Nicholas Roerich, painter, archaeologist, philosopher, and one of the famous theosophists of his time, wrote about his discoveries in Tibet in 1930 under the title Shambhala. Roerich traveled to Tibet, the Altai Mountains, and Mongolia in 1924 and described Shambhala as an important city in the very center of Agartha, connected to all parts of the world by underground tunnels. According to Nicholas Roerich, the theosophists knew the location of the hidden city, but they kept it a secret. Roerich, who devoted his whole life to Shambhala and spent his life on this path, has been a subject of curiosity as to whether he has found the location of the Lost Kingdom. Perhaps Roerich, too, knew the location of the Lost Kingdom, but chose to hide this fact. Nicholas Roerich described his conversation with a lama as follows. The lama says that the great Shambhala is far away, behind the waters, that it does not exist in the world, that he does not understand why the people of the world are so interested in it. Lama says that only those who live in the Far East have a special aura of energy, and only they can perceive it. As interesting as all this sounds, it is said that those who ventured deep into the Himalayas in search of Shambhala were never heard from again. It is also said that they either froze on the perilous journey or found Shambhala and decided to stay there. Many researchers believe that the Sanskrit language originated from Shambhala. It is also said that there is a monastery close to this area, and many people who go to the monastery are said to undergo a healing process, both spiritually and physically. This monastery was claimed to be the Songsanlin Monastery, located on the Tibetan border today, because the Chinese government later changed the name of this region and called it Shangri-La. Shangri-La is another name for Shambhala. What does it all mean? It's hard to understand, but the mere possibility that such a place might exist is enough to arouse a sense of curiosity about the unknown. In fact, there are independent researchers who claim that Shambhala does not exist in the world. But where is this Shambhala? Although the location of Shambhala varies according to mythological discourses and various researchers, Madame Blavatsky, the founder of the Theosophical Society, wrote in the Karma Purana, an ancient Indian manuscript, that Shambhala is an island in the northern sea. And as we know, the Gobi Desert in the north used to be an inland sea. Isn't that very interesting? Some Buddhists think that Shambhala is located on Earth. Some folk Buddhists, on the other hand, argue that Shambhala is the city of the gods, and therefore a city where the gods dwell can only be in the sky. Some contemporary Tibetans are of a similar view, and therefore think that Shambhala should not be sought on Earth, but among the stars on another planet. These views raise one question. Could Shambhala be outside of time and space, in another dimension, or in a parallel world? Surprisingly, one of NASA's space missions aimed to observe Shambhala from space and find out if such a place exists. The results were not disclosed, but if even NASA is looking for this place, it suggests that such a city might actually exist. Even today in Tibet, there are guides who try to describe the way to Shambhala, but they do so in such an incomprehensible way that it is almost impossible to follow them. The directions usually start from the known parts of Tibet and North India and go to the unknown regions to the north. Each guide takes the traveler to a point and stops, usually at the edge of a cliff or a mountainside. The guide says, "This is the end of the road. You can only go beyond this road by air," and no further explanation is given. Isn't that interesting? You hire a guide, you start a journey into the unknown, you get very excited, you walk for hours hoping to find this hidden city, and what is the result? Frustration. You are told that if you want to find Shambhala, the city of mysteries, you can travel the rest of the way by air. A poem written in 1557 by a Tibetan prince explains this mysterious situation. The great ones will then lift you up on their shoulders with golden music and carry you over the cottony mountain chains. With their miraculous power, you will fly through the air like an umbrella, and even the eagles will be ashamed. What do you think the Tibetan prince wants to say in this poem, written 466 years ago? Could these lines be a coincidence? Do Tibetan guides act according to legends? Or is it that the majority of the people don't want Shambhala to be found and are hiding something? What do you think? Tibetan prophecies speak of the kingdom of Shambhala as follows. One day an evil spirit comes and explains to the barbarians that power does not exist in the world, that there is a country called Shambhala. The barbarians learn that Shambhala exists and go there. But according to the prophecy, a pact is first made between the king of Shambhala, Rudra Chakran, and the barbarians. King Chakran welcomed the extraterrestrials who had come to invade the city and offered their leader to rule together. The king of the barbarians accepts the offer, but soon he tries to take over the sovereignty for himself. They attack Shambhala with flying chariots and a great battle begins in the sky. But the barbarians are not successful, because King Rudra Chakran fights to destroy them and succeeds. It is also said in the Tibetan prophecies that eventually the king will come out of Shambhala and come down to destroy the barbarians. According to this prophecy, King Chakran will descend from the sky. According to some lamas, the king will come to our world from another planet. Jambudvipa, that place, is more than a planet, a continent, or a region. Jambudvipa is everywhere. The king will come from there. After this final battle, the iron wheel will appear and fall in the sky, signaling the beginning of King Rudra Chakran's rule. After the victory, the king will extend his rule to the whole earth, and a new golden age will begin. Priests who hide what they know, monks who don't reveal secrets, locals who say that although strange things are happening, they are natural. Travelers who spent years researching the area and spent their lives on this path, and theosophists who found this place but kept the knowledge to themselves. The existence of an unnatural energy in this region is indisputable, but the question of why something is being kept hidden will probably be asked forever. There is no end to the claims and prophecies about the holy city of Shambhala. There is much to tell and much to talk about, but for now, this is the end of this adventure for us. What do you think about the lost kingdom of Shambhala and Madame Blavatsky? We look forward to your comments. If you like our video, you can subscribe to our channel, share the link with your close circle, and support us. See you in the next video. Goodbye.